Mixtape Radio.
Welcome to Mixtape Radio. I'm Mike Shea, and we're back for another week of 5 more bands and 5 more songs from all over the world. This show is brought to you by Cinescape Media. You can get more info about this show and all the other shows on the feed by going to their website. Go to cinescape.media and get all your information there. Now, let me break down how this show works every week. I'm going to share clips of songs from 5 different bands and artists, and they're going to be all kinds of different stuff: rock, rap, hip-hop, EDM, metal, country, blues, whatever the hell else is out there. Nothing is off limits, and I'm going to tell you who these talented folks are and where you can find their tunes so you can check them out for yourself. And at the end of every month, I will do a special episode where I create a mix of my favorites from the last month. But enough talking for now. Let's get to the music. This first track is from a supergroup of musicians from all over. Bandmates from Texas and Florida and a singer from Germany. Love Blind are a dream pop shoegaze studio project put together by the Texas-based indie label St. Marie Records in 2017. And they have been hard at work ever since. They put out their first single, War Planets, back in January. And with their debut album, Sleeping Visions, due out this March, the band put out a brand new single just the other day called Daydream. Let's take a listen to that new single now. That was Daydream by Love Blind. You guys can pre-order their upcoming album, Sleeping Visions, by going to the link down in the description. Now, this next band is one I've been a fan of for quite some time. I have talked about these guys on other podcasts, and they put out a new album last summer, so I absolutely had to share it with you guys. Now, I mentioned last week I'm a big blues fan, but I'm also a big fan of jazz, specifically big band jazz, swing jazz. Like, if you take jazz and nerdy shit and put them together, I am all over it. Now, the 8-Bit Big Band is a group of musicians from all over the world, using anywhere from 30 to 65 band members, depending on the song. We're talking violins, pianos, flutes, trumpets, harps, you name it. They take the very best in video game music and turn it on its head. They toss it in a blender with some classic big band jazz, and they give you these special cover renditions of video game tunes like you have never heard. And if there's one video game song we are all a little too familiar with, it's the one that plays when that stupid rat-a-tat trainer Joey decides he really wants a Pokemon battle. So here's the 8-Bit Big Band doing their version of the Pokemon battle music. That was the 8-Bit Big Band doing their version of the Pokemon battle music. Now, all of the music featured on today's show was purchased legally through Bandcamp, but we also love it when we get music sent to us by you guys. If you would like to have your music shared on this show, just send an email to mixtaperadiopod@gmail.com. Tell me your name, a little bit about your style, where you got your stuff can be found, and most important of all, send us a song that you would like to have played on the air. We answer every email that we get, and we check the mailbox daily, so don't waste any time. Send us your music to mixtaperadiopod@gmail.com. Now, I'm usually a big rock and metal guy. That's kind of my bread and butter. And we've already established I've got a taste for other kinds of music, like blues and jazz and folk. But when it comes to things like rap and hip-hop, I've got a very, very picky ear for it. I love great beats, great rhythm, great lyrics, but man, do I have high standards. Really, really high standards. I don't want stuff that just, like, fits into a mold or follows a pattern. Like, I want it to have a unique spin, to be a little off the beaten path. Now, I found this twosome out of Manchester called Children of Zeus, and they really impressed me with their blend of hip-hop and soul, their usage of soundscapes with clever rhythm in their music. And they have a new digital single out with 2 new tracks called Royal and Get What's Yours. Let's take a listen to a clip from the song Royal.
No excuse that I can make. This pain of receiving. Yeah.
That was Royal from Children of Zeus. You can pick up this special limited edition digital single now at the link in the description. By the way, if you'd like to stay up to date with this show, get more involved, be a part of the team, as it were, you can follow us on social media. Mixtape Radio is on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram using the handle mixtaperadiopod. Follow along so you can let us know what you liked, what you didn't like, send us some ideas for new music, whatever you got. Now, one of the things I like best about doing a show like this is when I manage to find a really fresh up-and-comer, someone who is new and honest and genuine with the music that they put out. Now, I came across someone just like that by the name of Kelsey Head. Now, Kelsey is a 23-year-old from Birmingham, Alabama, who just put out her first EP on February 15th. In fact, she even called it the first EP to signify just how special this was for her. She called it the first EP, which means she knows there will be a second and a third, and who knows how many more. She is confident in her music, and it really shines on this 4-track release. Now, she's been writing and performing for a number of years, and she's finally gotten to share a record with all of us. So let's take a listen. This is Kelsey Head with the song Leave the Door Open.
Promise me you won't close the door, you'll leave it open just a crack. Do you feel the same way, just not knowing how to say what you want or what you need? Or are you confused since this is all just so new? Let's not rush this.
That was Kelsey Head with Leave the Door Open. Make sure you guys follow the link in the description and pick up the first EP now. Now, there's not a lot of time left in the show today. I know, I'm sad too, but I still have one more song for you guys. Now, I have been searching and searching and searching high and low for good rock songs to share with you guys. Finding good heavy music online is actually kind of a pain in the ass. Speaking as a big fan, I find that more than half of like the rock and metal bands on the internet tend to be pretty let's go with generic. If you've listened to me on other shows, you know there is nothing I hate more than music that's generic. To me, music that's generic is just a big waste of time and energy. I don't want music that's just heavy for the sake of being heavy, you know, band names and song titles that are just cookie cutter and predictable, distortion and screeching that's so over the top it's unlistenable, it just becomes noise. So I have to comb through a lot of that. I turn over all the digital rocks, pull back all the digital curtains, and once in a while I do get lucky and I find a band that's really well put together, they know what they're doing, and they don't just play to a demographic. Now, that's where we get into the band Kids on Fire. Now, they're a 4-piece punk act from Seattle that knows how to play it fast, they know how to play it heavy, and most important of all, they know how to play it honestly. Their latest album, Songs in the Key of Bummer, was released over the summer by Tiny Dragon Music, and it's a 12-track adventure that is perfect for getting the blood pumping and the head banging. Let's listen to a song from that album called First World Problems.
So
That was First World Problems by Kids on Fire. Pick up their album Songs in the Key of Bummer at the link down below. Well, I hate to say it, everybody, but that brings us to the end of the show. But not to worry, we will be back again next week with 5 new artists, 5 new songs. Make sure you follow us on all the social media at Mixtape Radiopod. And remember, if you would like your music featured on the show, just send an email to mixtaperadiopod@gmail.com. This show is a proud member of Cinescape Media, so make sure you go to their website, cinescape.media, and see everything they have to offer. And with that being said, I'm Mike Shea, and this has been Mixtape Radio. We'll catch you guys next week, and until then, make sure you always support your local musicians.